My name is Ebony Thomas. I'm Director of Campus Recruiting and College Relations for Prudential Financial based out of Newark, New Jersey.
Hi everyone, Marie Artem, VP of Talent Acquisition for Enterprise, Rent-A-Car Enterprise Holdings out of St. Louis, Missouri.
So this group that just introduced themselves collectively hires thousands and thousands. Over 50,000 young adults in the United States. Annually, yes, per year. I want to now, in front with all of the participants, thank this group who's come and spent a week with us, really helping to build this and really doing an amazing thing for the state of Israel and for Masa. So I want to thank you guys for doing that.
I am really delighted to have the opportunity to kind of help you engage with some of the people that were just introduced to you. And just by way of introduction, I think maybe that you noticed when Trudy introduced herself and I introduced myself, we were representing universities, not corporations. So you might ask yourself, why are we here? Having been in Israel once before, about 2 years ago, after that visit, we worked together with Masa to really help plan this program and to invite these corporate representatives, many of whom we know personally and professionally, and who recruited our campuses and other campuses in the United States. And what I'd like to do first is invite some of my colleagues up to the front here, who are going to be part of a panel presentation that we're going to have. But don't worry, you're going to have the opportunity to really mix and mingle with all the folks who made the trip out here. Let me start first by asking each of the panelists to just remind you the organizations they represent. And when you do that, if you could please tell us each a little bit about the types of graduates that you're looking for in the work that you do.
I'm Adrienne Alberts. I work at Constellation Energy again in Baltimore, Maryland. And we're a vertically integrated energy company. So everything that you can think of that has something to do with energy, we are probably somewhere in the mix of that. All the way from generating energy with all of the generating sources that you can think of, not algae. So if you think about that, you can probably imagine the types of individuals that we hire. So we do have an internship program and we hire full-time individuals. We have some internships for freshmen, but majority sophomores and juniors.
So in terms of internships, I look for, we target juniors and all majors. And then for full-time, obviously graduating seniors, so all majors as well. So we're just looking for the best athlete, the best and brightest student that is able to learn quick and excited about the role. You definitely have to be passionate about investment banking and sales and trading.
If you take a look at the programs that we administer or provide consulting services for, we're largely looking at areas like public health, social services work. So if you want to take a look at the people that we're typically going to hire, it's going to be a pretty wide variety. We hire our shared systems folks, so people with engineering or IT backgrounds. We hire plenty of business majors as well, but we also are looking for public policy majors. We look for public health care folks, people with social sciences backgrounds. So we can cast a fairly wide net both at the undergraduate and at the graduate level.
Maybe you can kind of share with us, what are the kinds of skills, abilities, experiences that you look for, particularly in the candidates you're looking to recruit and hire?
Okay, and I'll give you from my perspective. I think that, this is one of those questions where no matter that each of us is going to be looking for different, especially technical skills, and maybe based on major, that makes it pretty simple to figure out. But from the experiences perspective, because we are a customer-facing organization, a service business, certainly we want people who demonstrate customer service skill and empathy. That just kind of goes with what we do, no matter what your role is within the organization. That's key to kind of our core values. But in addition, there's a lot of soft skills that we look for. Excellent communicators, flexibility and adaptability, people who can think on their feet, make decisions on the fly, have a lot of autonomy. We really have an entrepreneurial approach to our business, so that entrepreneurial spirit, someone who's willing to take a risk or try something new or think of a new way to do things. Excellent communicators, those that are highly social, that tend to do well within our organization. I don't know quite that you measure that, but it's kind of easy to tell sometimes. And then, to some extent, someone who has a level of competitiveness, because it is a promote from within philosophy. It's based on performance, so we want people who are kind of striving to do well and to do their best and to perform as a way to grow in themselves and the business that they represent. So we provide a very extensive structured training program. So ours isn't so much that you had to have had a business degree or a marketing degree in order to do it. You can come in with a liberal arts degree, but we'll provide that training and support to get you to where you need to be successful within the business. We have a really, really focused effort to promote from within. It's a company philosophy, it's our culture, so it's where I started in the company a long time ago. Our C-suite, our CEO, COO, our SVPs, you name it, they started their career path in our management training program, where really the idea is to teach people, give them the opportunity to learn what it takes to run a business successfully.
At Ernst & Young in New York, we were the first really professional services firm to start on Facebook. So it was dangerous. I just want to add 2 comments to the great comments that were made here. First and foremost, use your privacy settings, use them wisely. There are lots of things you can do to prevent us old people from checking you out. Because we realize that how many of you, all right, all the recruiters except me, close your eyes. How many of you would love to not have employers look at you on your Facebook? Right, me too. My next employer, I don't want him to see. But
I have 2 questions actually. One, would you gear your advice any differently towards us? And 2, as a master's student now, I did a lot of internships in undergrad, like a lot. Actually, one was with Citigroup, which was a great experience. Not that I don't love working for free, but
But I would also say on many levels, I would be surprised if a lot of the internships that you have access to, there wouldn't be some form of transferable skill that you can still show. Right? I don't know if everyone would agree with me, but I'd be very surprised if there's not something you could translate in some meaningful way that would be able to come across and show, that you've really learned something that's really valuable for, most of the recruit's career.
So is what you're asking, it sounds like you haven't found an internship that you feel you'd be passionate about right now as part of this program or whatever. But I guess my real question for you is, are you questioning, with all of the experiences that you've now had, plus this additional piece of education, what is it that you really want to do next? As long as what you're doing in school is building the skill set that you would need to come in and be successful in one of those opportunities. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Okay, you're welcome.
Currently working in community empowerment in the Ethiopian Israeli community in Gadara, actually. I was wondering, my internships are in corporate, and my experience here and in college has been a nonprofit, and so I'm really interested in corporate social responsibility. And so I was wondering, and maybe this applies to a lot of people here who are in service learning programs or in programs like SMA, where it's not internship based. In business corporations. So are any of your companies, do they recruit for corporate social responsibility positions? What is that atmosphere like at your companies? If you could expand on that a little bit, that'd be great.
In terms of the way people would find their way to those opportunities in my organization, networking would be very important. And in the way it's linked to our organization, marketing is a very large part of that. And so those skill sets that you have coupled with marketing and a lot of networking in the field. So I know the individuals in my organization connect with other professionals around that work. And I don't know the organization, but I'd be happy to connect with you to find out where they're linked. Becoming very actively involved in that community and networking in that community could be really useful in terms of finding out where the jobs are.
If you would join me in giving a big round of thanks. Now,
Where everybody started, but it's really, it's to learn the fundamentals of the business and also leverage that.
I know so many people who think they can do.
do these things interest you?